Hockey was life, man. John, diehard Maple Leafs fan. There's a couple other guys been around the wrestling business. Andrew Mullen, the referee from ESW, and John took it to a whole nother level, man. He just loved the Maple Leafs, idolized Doug Gilmour, and to see Dougie Gilmour do a tweet about John, he was smiling down on that one, man. I've cried a lot in the last week, and seeing the Maple Leafs and Doug Gilmour respect John. Man, as a diehard sports fan myself, that's like, Eric Lindros or Kevin James from the King of Queens tweeting about me. So I was so happy to see that. And a storied franchise like the Toronto Maple Leafs taking time to tweet about John, you're in a whole nother level when you get something like that.
Just like seeing like all these guys you watch on TV have like all these wonderful things to say about him, like stuff, he's like touched so many lives, but it just doesn't seem real so often. Even like seeing like a tribute on TV, it's like, what is this? It's just weird. I don't know. It's like just such a bummer. I saw somebody say that, who would have thought that Brodie Lee would have united the wrestling world? And it kind of feels like that in a sense. You see, WWE tweeting stuff and then AEW commenting on it, and I don't know how often that's done, if ever.
But yeah, everybody, he had a long run in WWE, and he met just about everybody, and to know John was to like him. He was, he could be quiet and reserved, but if you knew him, he was a big goofball, and he was the best.
I can't think of another wrestling superstar. It's so weird to say that about him. He's just my cousin. So weird to see my cousin get so much outpouring and love and support from everybody.
I've listened to about 100 different interviews in the last week of just guys that 10 years ago when John and I were doing those road trips, if he had heard about Chris Jericho and Ric Flair, John Cena posted something about him, Hulk Hogan, like all these guys that growing up in the 80s like we did, to see these guys showing respect, that means you've done something in this life. I've never seen a celebrity of any kind get the amount of love and praise and stories shared about them as John has. It's never been done. Like multiple federations, like there's no bickering between AEW, WWE, they're all just sharing in the honor that they had of him working for him. And you're seeing Hollywood people reach out and say, NHL, it's not going to happen again. Like he was on a different level, and I think that it's a direct line of respect to the person that he was, because he didn't have a bad bone in his body.
The Maple Leafs were tweeting, and they meant on NFL Live they gave a toast to Brodie Lee because George Kittle was a fan of Brodie Lee, and
I wasn't surprised, but I was pleased that it was so universal. I would have guessed it, but to see it unfold in real time, it was sort of awe-inspiring. And